What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nikki. If you are new, this is Life with Nick, and I do videos on business, lifestyle, fashion, everything Atlanta. In today's video, I am back with another video, a highly requested. I feel like I always have people in my comments and always inboxing me on Instagram asking me why does the cost of living in Atlanta cost so much. So I'm here to talk about that today. But before we get into that, if you guys have not already done so, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so you're notified when I post, and comment below some other videos you would like to see me do. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so I have to admit that the cost of living in Atlanta has definitely went up. It's ridiculous at this point, but I feel like that does come with a few different reasons. So the first reason that I'm going to talk about is the fact that the demand to live in Atlanta has went up so much, and it steadily is. Think about how many people you hear about every day moving to Atlanta. Think about how many people you hear about saying that they want to move to Atlanta or something that involves Atlanta, even traveling here. So because of that, the demand itself, the cost of living has gone up because of that. So these leasers and these different complexes and different home rentals, they see it as, hey, you know, people want to live here anyway, so why not? So think about it like Chipotle. Like, I know when I first started getting Chipotle some years ago, Chipotle was like $6.50, y'all. Like, but Chipotle has now went up from $6.50 to $8.50. So it's $2 more than what it used to be. And the reason for that, and one of the reasons for that, is because the demand for Chipotle has steadily increased, and it steadily is. So just like Chipotle, Atlanta, people are moving here day in and day out. And because of that, these rental properties, they see it as like, hey, people want to move here and they want to live here anyway. They're going to move here and they're going to live here anyways. So let's not just charge them a bunch of money in rent, which is unfair and it's ridiculous. I feel like the cost of living here is ridiculous, but that is just unfortunately one of the reasons as to why. So next we're going to talk about the fact that there's so much to do. So for those who have never been here, there is the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. There is that Ferris wheel. There's those little scooters that you can ride downtown. And just all throughout Georgia, not even just downtown itself. There's so much to do. And because of that, these rental properties, they see it as like, okay, well, there's a lot that comes with living here. And there's a lot around that surrounds the areas that you live in. So because of that, we're also going to charge you a lot. So think about those complexes that are right next door to like malls, or those complexes that are like right next door to like plazas or whatever, just a bunch of stores. No matter where you are, because I know even up north, those apartment complexes are usually going to be a little bit higher price because there's a lot of stuff that surrounds it. So because there's so many things and so much to do here in Atlanta and so much that surrounds it, they're charging a lot of money because they feel like not only are you paying for the apartment, you're also paying for what comes with the apartment and what surrounds around the apartment. So that is another unfortunate thing. Georgia has so many things to do, and with that, these apartment complexes, they feel like, hey, why not just charge an arm and a leg? So that's another thing. And I also want to talk about Black Hollywood. So me, when I was a kid, I had no idea what Black Hollywood was. I know when I first moved here, I was like 20 something at the time. But even when I would come here and visit my dad, like people always just talk about, oh, you going to Black Hollywood or whatever. But this is the Black Hollywood. Tyler Perry Studios has its like own highway here. You know, people, the music scene is huge here. A lot of rappers come from out here. And because of that, the cost of living is also a lot. So they feel like, hey, if you want to move here and you want to become an actor, if you want to move here and become a rapper, or whatever it is that you want to do, you're going to have to pay to do that. And if you want to be surrounded around a lot of celebrities, there's a lot of Black celebrities that have condos and own homes here, like T.I., for example, and his wife. Because of that, the cost of living has steadily gone up. Like, hey, you want to live around these people? You want to be around the hype? Let's go ahead and charge y'all the arm and the leg. So that's another reason as to why, which is extremely unfortunate. But if you want to live around these people, go ahead and pay thousands of dollars. So next we're going to talk about the fact that there's so many jobs. Me personally, when I moved here, it was easy for me to get a job. I say that in all my videos, which if you guys have not already done so, go ahead and check out. But I'll talk about that in all my videos, just the fact that it's so easy to find a job. And that's just in any field. So even if you are a like I know bartenders here who are making a grip, like bartenders, servers, people who work in construction, people who work at factories, people who are working in marketing, if you're a lawyer, whatever it is, it's very easy to find a job. So I feel like these apartment complexes and these like people who rent homes, they see it as like, hey, you should always have a job, or there's so many jobs here in Georgia, so you can afford to pay your rent. which is not always the case. Some people's situations are completely out of their control and completely different. But I personally feel like that is why, because there's so many jobs. So they feel like you got a job, you might as well live here and pay this rent. And with that, I'm going to talk about the fact that the pay rate is higher than some states. So I know me, I'm in RBT. So for example, when I lived in Cleveland, Ohio, they probably, I would say, pay their RBCs around $18, $19 an hour. Versus here, they pay a little bit more than that. And because of that, because these jobs are paying a little bit more than some states, they feel like, hey, these jobs are paying y'all enough, so go ahead and use the money that you're making more to pay us. And that's the way I see it. I mean, even though the minimum wage in Georgia sucks, I see it like that. I feel like they're personally just looking at everybody's tax bracket and being like, look, you fall in this tax bracket, so you can afford this too. So that is the reason why. Next, we're going to talk about something a little differently. And we're going to talk about the fact that there's so many apartments here in Georgia that are renovated. So most of the apartments that I tour, which you guys know I tour all the time, check those videos out too if you guys haven't already done so. But I tour videos all the time. It's really hard to find a complex that is not updated in some way. So usually apartments down here, they'll have different packages, but most of the time you are going to see apartments that are new. And when I say new, I mean built within like the last 15 years and less. Most of these apartments have granite countertops. They have hardwood floors, the little stainless steel appliances and stuff like that. And with that, you are going to pay a little bit more. And that's not even just here. I know when I lived in Ohio, and at some point I was thinking about moving back to Ohio, I noticed that, you know, the apartments cost a lot more when they were more updated. And that's just everywhere you go. You know, if you're paying for a new renovated home or whatever it is, obviously you're going to pay a little bit more. But I feel like that's the reason why they've gone up in their prices, because they're like, hey, we can offer you stainless steel appliances, so go ahead and pay us $2,000. So that's another reason why I feel like the cost of living has just went skyrocket. So lastly, we're going to talk about the fact that there are certain areas that are just bougie, okay? And this is kind of like off topic, but I was like, I just got to bring this in here. So certain areas, and depending on where you live in Georgia, is going to be a lot more than what you see in certain areas. So for example, you want to get an apartment in Buckhead, Georgia, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be paying about $1,400 for a 1-bedroom and almost $2,000 for a 2-bedroom. So with that being said, just stand clear and watch out for where you look when you are apartment hunting, because you don't have to live in Buckhead. Don't just go there just because that's where everybody lives. You know what I mean? $2,000 to me for a apartment is ridiculous. You know, if you can afford $2,000, you might as well go ahead and get you a house. But I think that's the reason why, is because a lot of these areas, they're offering more things. So they're opening more grocery stores. I know where I live right now, they're opening a new grocery store. They're opening new things. And because of that, the cost of living is going up with that. So that falls into the category of basically having something to do as well. But I feel like those are the main reasons why. So the fact that there's such a demand, there's so many things to do, the pay rate cost is a little higher. So unfortunately, that's just something that comes with living here. Me, I'm at a point now where I wouldn't start looking for a house, because I'm like, paying $1,700 and rent is just ridiculous. You know what I mean? So yeah, those are just some things that I feel the reason why it is. I know that some people look in Atlanta and be like, why are you living there? Or why are people moving there? It's because there's so many things to do. And because of that, these people are really going in on these rent prices. But like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't think that this is the end. I feel like the rent prices are going to keep going up, if anything, because you have to look at it like, look at just our generation in general. Young people are making money. You know what I mean? Like these 18-year-olds and stuff like that, like they're making more than we are. Like they're making like 6 figures and stuff like that. So they feel like more money out there than where we're going to cost and the more we're going to charge for our apartments, which is unfortunate. But I just decided to come on here and just warn you guys of that. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Comment below some other videos you guys would like to see me do, as well as go ahead and check out my other videos if you guys have not already done so. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.